Good morning to you. A quick scenario we have in here, GBPCAD, and if we look at what has happened since mid-April, we've been on a downtrend since mid of April as we continue to find lower lows. Now, since later part of last month and the beginning of this month, we saw a bullish momentum that rose up to 1.62 level after we saw price coming down to 1.60665, and then we saw something that comes around 1.61 for 17. So what's going to happen here? What are we going to do? Are we going to buy or are we going to sell? Are we going to have a trend continuation to the upside where a reversal pattern is formed and a breakout of structure to send price going to the upside, or are we going to have a trend continuation to the downside? So on the 4 hours time frame, nothing much is really revealed at this point. But one thing we want to look at here is this. We could identify a key level at this point. As we saw a rejection of this level followed by a breakout of this level on the 29th of April, then followed by another breakdown of the same level during the course of yesterday's trading session. So in this regard, that zone around that area is quite significant as it has a kind of pressure significance on the market. That's 1.61255. So if I pull out my line chart at this point and we try to find a key level around this area, if we look at it closely, we really don't see one here but one around here. So that's around 1.61470 thereabouts, okay, 1.615 I guess, and that's also a very solid psychological zone. So 1.65 area, and remember our key level is always gold, and then we should label it key level at 1.65. Let me give this a orange, and let's align this to the top center, right? I think it's good at. So we had 1.65 here on the 4 hours time frame, and with what we have here, we'll also notice that we've been seeing rejections of this level since the breakdown happened on the 26th of April. We saw rejections, we saw rejection, we saw rejection here again, though there was a break above that key level at that point. So we don't know if this break above is actually false or a sign that we want to be going to the upside. So let's move on. Let's go down to the 1 hour time frame. But before we do, let's identify a supply zone around here as we saw multiple rejection of this level at that point. So pulling out my this, let's make it a little bit lighter and we label it our supply zone. We label it our supply zone. So let's give it inside. Let's put it inside, and I think it's okay like this. So it's our supply zone. Scaling down to a 1 hour time frame. What we see on the 1 hour time frame gives us a better perspective into what is happening in the market. Now we have an impulse leg, a bearish impulse leg that began on the 22nd of April, where price um, began to rise back to 1.59. Now with the reversal structure, with an impulse leg, we want to expect that a retracement into the golden zone area will actually send price going to the downside like this. So if we spool out at the Fibonacci extension tool and we take the length of the last impulse leg, we saw that right at 61.8 we have our supply zone around 61 and 50, and we saw that rejection of that area has been consistent since the later part of last month. Now with sorry um, so now with this bullish move that happened, that began in the later part of last month and extended into the beginning of this month, this is somewhat an impulse leg as well. So um sorry, hold on please, give me a moment. So sorry, that's not what I wanted to identify. So what I'm seeing here is this: I saw this impulse leg from the supply zone, and I'm expecting a retracement into the golden zone area, after which we see a trend continuation to the downside. So with this being said, if we pull out our Fibonacci retracement tool and we um, put it through the length of the impulse leg, we see that right at 618% retracement, we saw a rejection around this area. And this rejection here might not go outrightly. You might see something like a reversal pattern, sort of, or, or trend continuation thereabout, that will actually extend price to the downside. So in this regard, what I did here was this: I placed the pending order at 1.61282 and 1.61183, where I'm looking at a TP target of, if we pull out our extension tool and we run through the length of this impulse from the supply zone, we'll be having um, uh, price falling within 1.60400 and 1.601. I have chosen 1.601 as my take profit. Again, that's around, that's, oh sorry, that's about 110 pips thereabout. And at this point, it's appropriate that I pause the video, and before that, let's have our stop loss at around 50 pips thereabout, and then let's see how price is going to react from this point in time. So in the next couple of hours, we're expecting price to go down, and definitely I will always keep an update on my TradingView account in the comment section. So I'm pausing this video at this point, and let's look forward to see how price react. Thank you, and do have a wonderful day.